Welcome back to Newswire here on SportsGrid. Not sure who to compare Nikola Jokic to. Maybe Jacob Kamaker can weigh in on this. You know, I grew up I did watch Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. I'm old enough to remember that, and old enough to remember the end of Dr. J, and certainly watched Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James. I don't know where to compare Jokic to this, Jacob, because he's not like any of the others. He's got the size of Shaq, but he's got the skills of Magic. And I guess what I would wonder, Jacob, is what happened in games 1 and game 2 to Denver, right? Like, isn't that something where if you're really good at watching film and breaking it down, maybe some other team can figure out a way to beat Denver? Or maybe going back to watching tape from the Nuggets several years ago, because when Jokic is playing like he did last night, there is not a team in the NBA that's going to beat them.
Right. With Jokic, he's just matchup proof. I mean, he's beaten guys like Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, and even Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. Like, these are good defenders and on good defensive teams, and he just finds a way to completely destroy them. We saw that last night with the Timberwolves, and it's hard to find a true comparison to him, like you said, because he has the elite passing skills, the top-end scoring skills, but he has the size. And the strange thing about him is he's an athletic dude, don't get me wrong, but it's not like he's like an otherworldly type of athlete. Like, you kind of look at him play sometimes and you say to yourself, man, how is he making these plays without being like one of the true top athletes in the NBA? He's just fantastic. He's really been the heart and soul of the Nuggets during this postseason run and their bounce back against the Timberwolves. But yeah, as long as they're going like this and as long as Jamal Murray is starting to get a little healthier, I think they're just going to be so hard to beat when Jokic puts the team on your shoulder.
Yeah, and I don't see Minnesota winning both of the next two. I would assume Denver moves on. But I'll tell you, this Pacers, Knicks series, I don't care that the Knicks won by 1 million last night. I mean, Jacob, I think Indiana's probably going to win the next game, and then who knows what goes to 7. But take nothing away from the way the Knicks have played at the Garden. They've had to sweat out the first couple. Last night was really easy. Brunson went nuts again, 28 at the half, 44 for the game. He's been the MVP of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. Josh Hart's also been amazing. He had 18-11, got some rest after they lost the previous game. So, I wouldn't say like the games are coin flip like we're going to talk about with Dallas, Oklahoma City. I got no feel on that at all. It just feels like the home team is getting these wins. Do you think Indiana wins the next one and then this just goes back to the Garden? It sort of seems like it's setting up that way, right?
That's what it feels like to me. This feels like it's going to go 7 games, and I think the Knicks are going to pull out the win. And the reason for that is Indiana just hasn't been good on the road at all. That's not to say that the Knicks have been good on the road either. I know the Pacers have pulled out some wins over them in their own building, but Indiana is just 1-5 on the road during this postseason. I think they won game 2 in Milwaukee, and that was against a pretty decimated Bucks team. So I just don't have faith that Indiana on the road against the Knicks can defend well enough to beat this team, because the Knicks, when they have trouble, it's usually because someone is able to slow down Jalen Brunson. No one's been able to do that during this postseason. If you can slow down Brunson, they don't have a lot of other high-end scorers. They have a really good amalgamation of depth and role players that have stepped up in the absence of Julius Randle. But if you take away Brunson, things get a little difficult for that offense. Indiana hasn't been able to do that. The Knicks have scored 121 points in all 3 of their home games, at least 121. So I just don't see the Pacers, even though they have a good offense, being able to compete if they allow that many points. Because Tom Thibodeau, there's one thing he can do. It's coach defense.
Yeah, that's been proven. And again, we got a game 6 coming up, could go either way.